Hello, everyone. Hey, it's Annette Green. It's Annette Green here on the Creative Scrapbooker magazine Facebook Live. So, very different and exciting. If you are new to me, I'm a designer for Elizabeth Craft Designs, and I have the Everyday Elements line with them. So if you're not familiar, I'll show you a few things of like what I do, and I have a new release out that we're going to play with today that hopefully won't bother too many people. Bugs, beetles and bugs we're going to play with, but there's some moths and some little ants and some frogs and some fun things to play with there. We're going to do some coloring, make a couple of fun cards. Just waiting for y'all to join me. I hope everybody's doing well today. This is very exciting. I'm a little tiny bit nervous just because it's different than the Elizabeth Craft Designs Facebook page. So I'm hoping to see new people and maybe some old friends that join me a lot of time over there. And we're jumping in now. There we go. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. Hey, Andrea or Andrea, I don't know for sure, but thank you for joining me. And I'm just going to take a minute to welcome you guys, watch you come in and say hey, let me know you're here. And we're in my craft room. As you can see in the background, I got a nice little candle going back here for a nice ambiance while I craft. We're going to have a lot of fun today. So I see people coming in. Okay, awesome. So let me tell you a little bit about myself and talk a little bit about scrapbooking, even though we're going to make cards today. Because I've always been a scrapbooker, like many of you probably. When you had your first child, I have one and only child. When I had my daughter, I started to scrapbook. And of course, it was the 12 by 12 traditional scrapbook pages. But I'm still a scrapbooker to this day. My daughter's 27, moved out of the house, and it's just my husband and I. We're both, well, I'm semi-retired. He's fully retired. But we're just here and we're living life, just the two of us, and I still scrapbook. But I don't do 12 by 12 anymore. So I'll give you a little sneak peek of what I do like to do. And there's Liz. Hey, Liz. Yay. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera around really quick, but I'll try to keep looking up at the comments. Hey, Uns, nice to see you. Hello. Flip the camera around. I'll still be up in the little circle here, but I'll keep looking to see if you all have questions or comments. But I did want to show you my version of scrapbooking really quick before we do the Beetles and the Bugs fun. And that is, I like to use the Elizabeth Craft Designs full-size planners. I do the sidekick size as well sometimes, but this larger size is my favorite to work in. So I am doing a page a week in my planner. And once in a while, I'll do a YouTube video as I make a page. But a lot of these things are, of course, from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and many of them, including the paper, stamps, and dies, are from some of my releases for Elizabeth Craft Designs. So here's just a couple of fun pages that I've been doing. And having a great time with it. I still make sure that I document my life, and it's very important to me. Angrina, I hope I say that right. Good evening. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Oh, there I am. This is my new release here. So I do love to do that, and not only do I love to scrapbook in my planner, but I love to make little traveler's notebooks, little TNs, these little TNs from Elizabeth Craft Designs. I tend to make one of these every time I go on any kind of major trip. So I gather and collect goodies and document my trips in these little TNs. And that's one of my favorite things to do. I love doing these little flip flaps in here. This was the Banff retreat in Alberta. This was 2 years ago. I still need to do my one from this last fall. But you can see I really enjoy doing that for trips. And then, of course, I love to do custom mini albums. This was from my Harmonious Hodgepodge paper collection. So this is all custom built and has pockets and flaps. And this was our trip to the Biltmore Estate, if anybody knows about that, here in the Carolinas. I'm in South Carolina, but the Biltmore is in Asheville, North Carolina. So this has all kinds of journaling pockets and pull-out things and tags in the top. So I love to make mini albums as well. Hey, Jackie Gerard. Aw, thanks so much. And I love to make tags. And here are some examples of my newest Sunny Days release. So I love making tags to hang on to bags, gift bags, attached to cards. I love doing 3D projects like these little gift bags, completely made from paper, custom made. Thank you, Jackie. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. So that's just a little bit about me and what I have been busy with and what I love to do. But today we're going to have some fun with Beetles and Bugs. Thank you very much, Jackie. So my new release is called Sunny Days, like I said, and this is the paper collection that goes with that, Colorful Collective, which we're going to be working with today as I create. And here are the Beetles and the Bugs, which is a stamp and die combo. So we're going to play with that. We're also going to use this big nature stamp set, large nature stamp, and a little bit from my Playful Sentiments stamp set, and then the picture frames and mats. And there's a couple more dies and one more stamp set in the whole release. So you can check that out on the website if you like. But I thought I'd share that. It's so good to be here. I love doing lives. I love it. Okay, so I was going to talk really quick about the fun that you can have coloring in these stamped bugs. And so there's not just bugs, but there's a moth, there's a frog, there is a dragonfly. I've got a whole bunch of samples over here. But one thing I wanted to start off with right away is how much fun they are to color and some tips that I found out when I was coloring them. Hello, got your latest collection. Love it. Thank you so much. Ganilla Vesterlund. I hope I got that right. Welcome and thank you for being here. So what I learned, I did a little comparison and I used various different black inks as I was coloring with water-based markers and alcohol markers. So I tried the VersaFine Clair Nocturne, which is their black. I did the Ranger Archival Black, and that's called Black Soot specifically. The Memento Tuxedo Black, and then the VersaFine Black. This is the Onyx Black. And what I found was they all worked pretty well. Some did bleed just a little bit, but the one that did the very, very best was the Memento Tuxedo Black. It did not smear. Oh, thank you, Jackie. She just threw, hey, Sue Palmer, she just threw the link up to my new release. Thank you very much over on the ECD page. Wonderful. So this worked really well. You just need to give it a bit to dry, not long, and then no smearing at all. You could color right over the top of it, but I still try to avoid right on top of it. So those are so much fun. You feel like a kid again, coloring those and, you know, just playing like that. So I thought what I would do is I would do a very quick alcohol marker coloring of this cute little ladybug right here. And I'm just going to use 2 colors, maybe 3. We'll see. I grabbed some alcohol markers. These are the Olo markers. The red 1.5, the red 0.6, and I'm going to use the lighter cool gray number 7. So I've already stamped it in black, and I actually did the gray part already just because it's really tedious, these little legs, and I didn't know how shaky I'd be on the live, so I did color in the legs already with the gray. But we're going to use a little bit of the gray for part of the spots. So I'm going to go in with my red 0.6 first and just color in. I mean, it couldn't be simpler. And I'm not going to worry too much if I go into those spots because I'm going to color those in dark in just a minute. But if I was not live, I would take my time, go a little bit slower. And this thing is really juicy. It's kind of leaking out on me here. So it's doing a little extra flow. But You can do anything you like to color with. I'm going to show you with some watercolor paint here in just a second. But you could use colored pencils, you could use water-based markers, you could use your inks and dip it into your inks with a water brush. But there's our pretty ladybug. And if you wanted to shade it, go a little darker red, you could come in and do that around the outside edge. There's not a huge difference in these colors, but it adds just enough shading. And I'll hold this up so you can see it a little bit better. And then I would take that, I think I'll go with that darker gray because it's almost black, and just color in, because typically on a ladybug this would be pretty much black, but to use a really dark cool gray I think gives it a little nicer look than a really strong black. So super easy, very relaxing. I mean, you guys know how it is to color. Really, really relaxing, right? Okay, so I don't want to take too much time coloring. We got to get to the fun. But I do want to show you how super, super easy it is to die cut these with the coordinating dies. So I will grab my ladybug die right behind me over here. And I have the Empress Mini die cutting machine, this little baby right here, hanging into the screen a little bit. So the mats for that are magnetic, which is great. So your dies don't shift around. Now I have to get this right under my face to get this all lined up, but I'll hold it up and show you that you can look right through the die very easily. And because it's magnetic, it's not going to shift around. I just take a little bit of care when I place this one on here. Give it a good squeeze and send it through. And you'll see how nicely that die cuts out and puts just that little 1/16 of an inch of space around your die so perfectly. So it's super duper easy. I just love that. All right, we'll do a really quick watercolor one and then we will go on to the projects that I want to make today. So I just have my Elizabeth Craft Designs watercolor palette here. And this is never this clean. I did this right before. And I've sprayed a little water in here just to get these soft, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit more. Got a couple of brushes. You could use a water brush that comes with it. I'm just going to use some skinnier brushes because this little beetle here has some really fine little lines and detail places. So I have an even finer brush here for that. Got some water off to the side, and I just need to decide what color I want my beetle to be. And we might as well go with some fun bright color here. So I'm going to mix up a little bright blue for most of the details here. So we'll go in here. And just take our time and play and color that in. Jackie, oh, there's Kim Gowdy. Hey, in for a treat to see Annette Green in action. Wish I could stay and watch. Enjoy. Oh, well, thanks for popping in, Kim. Thank you very much. Kim is on my design team. Kim is a Canadian up there with y'all. And I've seen her twice now at Banff. And I'm delighted that she's on my team this year. She does beautiful work. She does lovely planner pages and scrapbooky stuff, just like I like to do. Okay, so we've got a little blue in here. I think we'll do a little green because I think that would just be fun. If you're not super comfortable with coloring in these fine little detail places, let's say you didn't have watercolors or your hands weren't that steady with your markers, you could use a fine detail embossing powder for the black stamping. And that way it puts sort of a wall up, you know, like a ridge a little bit where it's embossed, and you can't go outside the lines. It makes it so much easier and faster to do that way, which I do like a lot. But today I just did regular black ink. Okay, that's it for that. And then I'm going to go in with that skinny brush and do a really bright green. And I think since that's still drying, I'll come up here for some green detail. I hope everybody's doing well. I know the weather's been a little crazy for a lot of us. Here in the Carolinas last, like 2 weeks ago now, we had some pretty bad fires going on. And that we've gotten tons of rain since then, so everything's good now. But I know that I saw Kim, she showed us a snow up there in Alberta area. I don't think Kim is actually in Alberta, but near there. Okay, so you get the idea. Watercolor is super fun. It gives it even a less flat look, more of a, you know, watercolory, flowy look than using your alcohol markers. This looks a little more solid. This looks a little more fluid, flowy. So, you know, you have all kinds of options when you're coloring these in, and that's the point. Okay, so let's make some fun stuff. And at the end, we'll see if I have time for an ATC card, but I do want to show you just really quickly some fun little things that I have gone through and colored. I have so many here. So this is watercolored on stamped, just like we just did. And this one is gold embossed with watercolor. And these are alcohol marker with the black stamping. This one is stamped in black on a piece of paper that I made kind of rusty. I did a rust effects video, so there's all kinds of things that you can do there. So let's keep a couple of those alcohol marker ones handy because we're going to use those. We've got some leaves here. We've got some beetles. These are fun. And what I love with these is they don't have to be like anatomically correct as far as color. As you can see, obviously pink beetles, teal beetles, purple beetles. You can make them whatever you want. And so we have some moths there. We've got some different ladybugs and these two beetles. And then of course you can go all bright and cheerful, but then you could go very earthy and vintage like these. These are ATC cards I'm going to trade in Banff when it comes time. The link to the watercolor palette. Thank you, Jackie. So that's just another option with some more subdued and subtle colors. You can make them that way. And I just did a video on my channel that showed the difference between the same papers, the same stamps, same dies to make two completely different looks, bright and cheerful and more vintage. So exactly the same paper, just flip to the other side and treat it a little differently the way they were colored. All right, so let's play. I've got a very fun frog card I want to make here. So I've got this paper is from my Colorful Collective paper collection, and it is perfect for stamping a frog. As you can see, I'm not going to take the time to stamp and die cut it out, but I already did it for you there. Ans, thank you very much, Jackie. So there's our little frog, and if you may not notice this detail, but you can stamp the frog and he will have a little halo edge around him. I have taken a little bit of a green marker and colored in that outer edge. You can do that, or if you don't want to do the coloring and you want it to really stand out more, you can cut the solid without any stamping and just kind of offset it a little bit and make it into a little drop shadow. So I'll show you that on a card right here. This fun little card, he's on a little wobbler thing, which we're going to do again. But he was just stamped simply. I did not color the background outer part there. I just put him on that black drop shadow piece. And so we're going to recreate this card, just kind of change it up a little bit though. So we'll keep that there so you can see it. We have our frog ready. I've got a little phrase ready to stamp, and I've got a row of ants that I want to stamp as well. So we've got our little wobble thing here from the craft store. And we have all our pieces and parts ready to go. So I've inked up everything. And before I start to assemble, here's that picture frame and mat set from the dies I showed you early on. So I've cut that out of the same colored cardstock as our card base here. And I want to stamp the top of this with "What a Fine Specimen You Are," which I think would be a very fun card for a guy, a young boy. I mean, it could be feminine as well, or gender neutral, of course. But I think that's what we're going to use, and we'll just use our VersaFine Onyx, Nocturne, I should say, to stamp that nice and dark black. And I'm going to pull it down in front of me just for a second because we don't need to see the top of my head. So I'll pop that way up here. Melissa, oh, thank you. You love the bugs. Look at, I looked up Melissa and I rocked and rolled on my stamp, but that's okay. It's not too bad. We're going to keep it. Thank you. I'm glad you love the bugs. Very fun. I got some photo corners here from the mats, the picture frames and mats as well. We're going to pop those on too. And I'm basically doing that same card just with different paper, just to have a second card of my own that's just a little bit different. So I'm going to start to layer up my pieces. And I'll tell you just very quickly, size-wise, this is 4 by 3 5/8. This is an A2 card, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm going to put that one on first. And again, all the papers are from the Colorful Collective within my Sunny Days release. Got some goodies in here I should probably take out so that's not so bumpy. There we go. So we will put that down first. And then I've got some border strips here. There is a page in the papers that have just a bunch of borders. So I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up with my borders. And I just want to make sure everything's going to work out okay. And so it's going to. So I won't work from the bottom. I'll work from the top down. So Melissa, do you have the bugs yet? Or are you seeing them for the first time today? I'm curious to know. They are so much fun to play with. And so many people say like, oh, I don't like bugs, but boy, I need to have that set. It's very fun. And that is true. Super fun. There's so many things you can do with them. Like I picture a planner page down the road. If I go on a picnic with my husband, there's a piece of paper in the collection that looks like a tablecloth, like a red and off-white check. That would be great in the background, and then use some of the ants on the page. Wouldn't that be cute? In fact, I've got an ATC, if I have time, to show you back there that it does just that. Okay, so now we are ready to put our little frame down here. And there's no reason why we couldn't put on the frame first. As long as we don't stretch it when we do it, we're going to be good to go. So just a little line of glue will get you there. And I'm going to overlap my little border down here and try to get kind of centered. Pretty good. Okay, awesome. And then my stamped piece will be next. So I don't see a lot of folks watching just yet, but maybe some folks on the replay later will see this. I'm curious how many people are going to be planning to go to any of the Elizabeth Craft Designs, the expos, scrapbook expos. Oh, Melissa, you're just seeing them for the first time? Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad you like them. Um, yes, in, let's see, a couple of weeks, Elizabeth Craft Designs is going to be at the Scrapbook Expo in Virginia, and I'm going to be in the booth. I'm going to be doing demos and talking to people. I'm going to bring some of my planners and hopefully take some pictures with some of y'all. So if you're going to be in the area, that's the show I'm going to be at. So I know there's a number of other shows that ECD is doing, and you can find that very easily on their website if you're interested in going. So I'm just popping these corners on. These are from the Picture Frames and Mats set. Got one more to go here, and then we'll pop our frog on there. So I'm just kind of offsetting these a little bit. They can sit inside the frame totally or just overlap like that. But there's that. And then just for stability with our little frog, since he's just stamped on some pattern paper, he's a little thin. I'm going to go ahead and glue him right to that black shadow piece. Hey, Nicole, welcome. Good evening. So you must be, Nicole, I don't remember where you're from, but when you're saying good evening, I know that you're probably over in Europe somewhere, maybe the Netherlands. You'll have to let me know. I know I see your name all the time. It's not like I don't know you. I just don't know where you're from. But I do see you often. Okay, so I'm going to glue this one right on top of the black. We're not going to make a shadow. I'm just making him stronger and thicker, because we want him to be nice and strong and thick when we pop him onto our little wobble thing here. Okay, but I am going to put him aside for a minute. I'll put a little weighted block on him so that we can work on the inside a little bit. And I'm going to make it, like I say, a little bit different. We're going to add a little pop-up element inside. So the first one was just decorated inside with a little place to write your message and wishing you the very best over here in one of the other picture frames and mats. This is also a photo frame and mat. But for this one, I thought I'd add a little pop-up just to be fun and different. And I've got some other pieces and parts here that we're going to work in there. And this is where I want to stamp my ants. So I think we'll do that very first. Since we have the ink right here, I'm going to get a little scrap paper because I'm going to go off the edges a little bit with these ants. Okay, again, black. It could be any color you want your ants to be, and I'm going to scooch it back down so I can see. Just go right down the middle of my strip. Okay, so that just makes a fun border strip out of an already border strip. Just adds a little bit more to the situation. Okay, and so what I've done here for this inside part is I've cut a much bigger piece that's going to travel all the way down the inside from top to bottom. So this thing is very tall. It measures 4 inches by 10 3/4. And I've already got some pencil lines drawn here for my little pop-up. Now there's little dies that you can buy that have pop-ups, but I just went ahead and did a little custom one myself. So I've got a slit here and another slit here. It's just going to be a tiny little pop-up, and I've already scored the top and the bottom part here and here. Okay, so all we have to do now is push our little pop-up thing forward as we bring our card up, and now we have a little pop-up, really teeny little pop-up. So you can kind of make that stronger by pushing down on it. But now I will put some adhesive going to put adhesive on the bottom. I love cards that have a little bit of interaction to them. It's just that much more special and fun for the recipient. And I'm sure that you all agree, if you get a card like that, it's so much fun. Just different. Okay, so we just make sure we've got our card here, and we want to put this right up to our fold. Sorry, I know my head's probably in there. Okay, good. And then we put the adhesive on this side. Lots of adhesive, I know. Okay, and rather than bringing it up, it's better if you bring the card down to it. Then you don't get any puckering or anything like that. Okay, so now we have this fun little pop-up element in here, and we can start building the inside. So get our little frog out of the way. I've already stamped "Wishing you the very best." You could color that in if you wanted to, but I'm just going to glue it to my little mat and frame here. And this is the thing that we're going to pop up. So the little message will be the pop-up. So this will go right in the middle. And these dies are, even these rectangles are in that die set with the picture frames and mats. And I like to ink all my edges with the brown. I've got some vintage photo going on here. So there's that. Let that dry for just a second and we'll go on to the rest of this. So in here, we did a little border at the bottom. And that's what this will be. And we can put that up. Let's see, we've got our little frame where we have to write our message. And I'm going to use my block here just to kind of hold that up. I hope that you can still see. But I have to get that out of my way for a second. So I'll put those weights there. And then this will be where we'll write the message. So now we know where this strip can go. And this is about, it looks like about 1.25 inches. This little strip will come up a little bit from the bottom, so it's not right at the bottom. Okay, this is 1 1/8 inches. 1 1/8, which I know drives people crazy that do the metric. It's like, how do we know what 1 1/8 is? There's a really great map paper in my colorful collective paper collection, and on the back side is this very neutral pattern, which I love for just this very purpose, for doing journaling, having an open place to write something. It's very soft and neutral, but it's not just plain like white or off-white cardstock. I like to have a little texture in there. And this particular paper has like a linen texture, so that's kind of nice. So we've got the same dark blue cardstock for our pretty little mat. And this goes, of course, around here perfectly. And this matches the card front cardstock. So there's that. And then we can pop up our little message. Oh, actually, we've got to get our little ants on here, don't we? Almost forgot. Can't forget the ants. Okay, let's see. I can see that my ants are a little crooked, but no one said they were going to march in a straight line. It's okay. Okay, that goes there, and then our little pop-up "Wishing you the very best" can go right on our little tab there. So we'll just hit it with a little bit of glue and get that lined up right at the bottom. Once that grabs, I'll pick it up and show it to you. And you can do this part tipped on its back. That might help a little bit. So that would slide forward and pop up in the back. Just something different and extra fun to make it interesting. You could add borders up here. You could do some fun stamping in the background if you wanted to. Whatever you like. All right, so all we have to do now is get our little frog on here with the bobble. And the bobble is much bigger than my frog, so I tried it on the first one and it worked. I just cut it. Got a little stronger pair of scissors over here. My teeny tiny Tim Holtz scissors. Thank you very much. I'm glad you liked the card. So I'm just going to make sure that I don't hit the little spring, and I'm going to cut very close. May have to do one at a time. I did this card a long time ago, so it's hard to remember, but I'm just going to cut away the plastic, and that's why you got to have a really good strong pair of scissors. And I'm just going to get close, so this is more hidden behind my frog. Oops, I heard it crack. That's okay. We'll make it work. All right, so we'll check that. And we'll probably have to do a little more. Yep. That one side is much easier to cut than the other because this side is just paper. This one is thick plastic that has that peel and stick. It's a little tougher, so be very careful if you do this. Take your time, get your fingers out of the way. Ugh, and stuff goes flying, so be careful of that too. I'm wearing glasses. Hey, Carol, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Melissa. I'm glad you like that. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So now we can peel and stick. We're going to peel this one first. And it's clear, which is nice. So even if we get it a little bit where it's sticking out, it's clear. So it's not like white and obvious. So we'll do that. And then now this plastic is a little frosty, kind of almost white. So that is not clear, but I think it's going to be okay. And put that right there. Clean up all my bits that went flying. Okay, oh, that's so cute. So fun, so cute, so easy. So two different cards, similar, just different papers mixed in a little differently. And the insides are a little bit different with the pop-up over here. So, hope you like those. And we have time to do probably another and maybe even time for the ATC. I've got one ready just in case. I appreciate you guys being here. And so for sake of time, I was going to show you, we're gonna kind of make this again, but we're gonna save a lot of time, and I'm not gonna do every single step, but I'll explain it to you. So you would take your basic card. In this case, it's going to be a black card. And then you want to cut yourself a panel that will go on the front that measures just inside of that. So on an A2 card, you'll cut this piece at 4 inches by 5¼ inches. So it's just 1/8 of an inch smaller than the front of your card, and you have your nice black border. Okay, you take this and you do the trick that we've seen a lot, maybe not, where I took these fun bright colors of oxide inks and I mushed them on my nonstick craft sheet, sprayed them with water, and I dipped and dragged into that to get something like this. Now, there's stamping on top of this, of course. So, but you can see the background there. It's all those fun colors. And I used the large nature stamp that I showed you at the beginning with black ink and stamped it right on the front. So that's what was done to this, Okay, so we can get that on the front of our card right now since it's done. And I got a big old piece of double-sided adhesive from Elizabeth Craft Designs, of course. And hopefully I can get this nice and straight. We'll see. We'll make this be the top, so I've got to lean in here a little bit. Okay, and I like using that big piece of double-sided adhesive because this was wet and watery and it curled and everything. That big piece of adhesive sheet really helps keep that fairly flat. Okay, so now we're going to build up some layers on the front of our card, which we can do right now. So this is how this one looks. So now is the fun of just picking some of those things that we colored for the outside. Now you might notice I did do the little trick with the black die cut offset so you have a shadow on these. I'm not going to do it on this next card. That way we can kind of see the difference and see what you like better. So I know I want a ladybug, and I know that I want a beetle, and I know that I want another beetle, and those three might be perfect. Okay, I also went ahead and stamped with Playful Sentiment stamp set. Another birthday, don't let it bug you. That's going to be for the front of the card. So we're going to pop these up with some foam tape. Actually, we'll keep these flat because we are popping up our bugs with the foam tape. So let's have a little variation in the layers here. So these were just stamped on ivory cardstock and mounted to black cardstock. Nothing fancy, super easy. Black ink. Now I just noticed on my sample over here, I did add a little ant in the corner, which I think I might have an extra one over here. Let's see. Yes, I do. I did a couple of extras for the ATC card, but I think we can go ahead and put this down here. And I did do that like warm gray color around the white edge, the halo around the stamp this time. Just so you know, it's there. But I didn't do it on these. I could, but I think we'll just leave this like this. It's cute. Okay, and then we can use some black foam tape, I think, for my bugs. So we got our ladybug. Did you notice my watch, by the way? And my tattoo. I'm a big bee lover, and I've had bees in all my collections in some form or another. Maybe a stamp, sometimes a die, sometimes both. I do love them. And I'm finding more and more, I'm not alone in that. I see a lot of people that love bees and appreciate bees and how important they are to the world. Okay, so just a little bit of foam tape will do the trick here. I do tend to want to put more than that usually, but for sake of time, I'm just going to keep a little bit, keep it simple. So we'll kind of lay out our pieces here. Just looks so cool on this background and all this color. So much fun. So I think we'll do that. That looks good. I would love to know where y'all are joining me from. I don't think Nicole ever answered me earlier. Melissa, I believe you said good evening earlier. Are you're not from this away, I'm imagining. I'm imagining you're over in Europe somewhere. And Carol, tell me where you're from. I'd love to know. Okay, that's cute for the front. Just a little bit different. You can see the difference between the ones that have the little black drop shadow piece underneath the bug. Oh, Michelle's from Arizona. Michelle, okay. And this one does not have the black drop shadow. Both work well. It just depends on the look that you want and how you like it. Oh, Karen's here from Iowa. Oh, awesome. Okay. Okay, so the inside looks like this. Very fun. We're going to make this one, the second one, a little bit different. Jacqueline is from the Netherlands. Oh, awesome. So we're going to do it a little differently for this next one. And Melissa's in Illinois. So before I get too far, I've got this Celebrate stamped on this little piece. Now this piece and this little tag I'm about to put it on, that's from another die in my new release, and that is, what is that? Layered tags. I don't have it right in front of me, but I'm pretty sure that's what I called it. But Jackie did put, Janice is in Australia. Patricia, oh, I know Patricia. She's in the Netherlands. Who else did I see there? Tina is from Sweden. I see Tina a lot. Carol is from Alberta. And Nicole is from the Netherlands. That's what I thought. Okay, awesome. And Andrea is in Wales of the UK. Well, great. All right, so the inside of this one was this orangey pretty pattern paper. And this time I'm going to do this bright sunny yellow paper. And we can get that in here right now. No reason why we can't. And we're going to do it just like before. We're going to put adhesive on one side, put it in, and then adhesive on the other side. Close it down. Jane, hey, hey. Jane is also from the Netherlands, maybe? Okay, so I'm gonna bring that open a little bit so I can work more flat on this one. I think it'll be okay. It may, yeah, it just wants to fight me a little bit, but it's going to be fine. Sometimes if you spread that open totally flat, then you go to shut your card and it buckles on you. Thanks, Patricia. Thank you. Oh, you have the whole collection. Cool. Oh, Jane's from Denmark. Close. Kind of. Okay, so the inside we're going to make very fun with a little easy pop-up. Oh, this is for my tag here. I'll do that real quick. Karen. Oh, okay. And Grina is Karen, and she's from the Netherlands. Wonderful. Let's see. I think I'll go this way. So just putting some black twine in here. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you very much. Kathy Brady is watching from the Northwest Territories of Canada. Awesome. Now, I hate to say it, but I don't know exactly where you mean when you say the Northwest Territories. Like, what province? Are you provinces? Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. Terrible American, doesn't know the names of things. Thank you very much, Karen. All right, tied that into a little tiny bow. Scissors. And I think for this one, we're going to, instead of having this little tag for the message to write, I'm going to use a cut apart from my paper that has ladybugs on it already. I thought that would be perfect. And we're going to move it over to this right side. And that would be fun to have as our little message place. Anne is from Norway, territory of Canada that is east of Alaska. So is it possibly? Nah, couldn't be. The area that they had that show Alone, do you watch that? They were in some very remote part of Canada. Not this newest season, but the one before. I don't know if you guys watch that show. Oh boy, that's amazing. Okay, so now we're going to put our little pop-up in, and I switched the colors up to this red, and I made the pop-up just a little bit shorter And we're going to move it way down here so we have definitely plenty of room to get in there and write our message. So this piece, if you wanted to know, is 9.5 inches long by 1 1/4 inches tall. And I scored it at 3 inches, 4 3/4 inches, and then 6.5 inches. And you just fold it accordion style. So if I'm going to put this down, I'm going to use some liquid glue just to make sure I can slide it into place good. You just want to put glue on these two outer big panels here, because the rest of it is going to pop up. So I'm going to start over here where I know I need to be with my writing space and go just below it and press that down. And then we'll put adhesive on this panel. It is where the season of Alone that was recorded that you mentioned. It is. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that's cool. Did you watch the show? My husband and I watched it. It's just incredible what those people go through. I need to catch up and watch the next one. I don't remember where it's at, but I do like that show. I would never do something like that, but I like the show. So as you saw, now I could have stretched that over instead of shutting down on it. I got a little off the edge there, but that's okay. It's still going to close. The card closes great. You get that little triangular pop-up thingy, which is just a fun place to start adding bugs and leaves and things. And the Celebrate, that could go over here. It could go up here. But I think I do want it to go over here because I don't always have a lot to say. And that's a lot of lines right there. And I always think it's very pleasing to have things overlapping when you're doing either layouts or cards or what have you. So I'm going to put that right there. And then I have some room over here for my big dragonfly. This one had the dragonfly on the right, and that wouldn't work over here on this one because of this journaling card we have here. Okay. Oh, we're doing good. 8 minutes. All right, I'm going to pop these on here real quick. Pick out some favorites. Ooh, that's fun. That's fun. Good contrast there with the red. And we got to have a moth, I think, with a little yellow. And at least 1 or 2 leaves. And I think we'll switch to more of an orange, that guy, ladybug. And if we have room for these beetles, maybe we'll have a beetle too. We got a lot. I do have another red dragonfly, but I think we'll save him for something else. Okay, so we'll pop this on real quick. Because I think I want to try to get that ATC done as well, the artisan trading card. Because I really need ATCs. I got to make like 100 to share and trade and swap. Oh no, Kathy, you didn't watch it. It's a fun show. I live in a remote community where we have to fly in to get here. I don't want to watch the things that could go wrong. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But you could learn a lot on what happened if something happened. Yeah, I learned so much about survival things and tips and whatnot just by watching that show. Okay, I think we'll pop... Whoa! I think we'll pop this guy on that one panel. My glue bottle is in a nice little stand over here with a silicone pad, but I think I went off kilter when I set it down and it totally got stuck in there. So I think I'll put that one there. This would be such a fun birthday card for a kid, don't you think? I just think the bugs are fun, super fun. Okay, we can put a ladybug on this other panel. And as long as you don't, you know, hang off the edge too much, you can turn it sideways a little, put it on a little tilt. Okay, we need to put a little leaf in here somewhere, so maybe we'll add one here, or maybe up this way. feel like a kid when I'm doing these stamps and dies. They're just so much fun and so cute. So that will go there, and maybe that's where our moth will go because he's pretty big. Or no, let's put the beetle there. I like the beetle there. So I wonder, even if you didn't like bugs, like for real bugs, would you still enjoy scrapbooking or crafting with these bugs? I'm not a big fan of bugs either, but these are fun and playful bugs, and they don't hurt anybody. Okay, I got one more leaf here. I could put it over here. I have my moth. I hate to cover up those cute little things. You could always put things behind panels. Oh, maybe that's what we'll do. Okay, let's get this on here. And then we'll make a really quick ATC and we will be done. Jackie, you don't mind if I go over just a teeny tiny little bit, I hope. You'll have to let me know if you'd rather I cut it short and end it right at 3. I've got about 4 minutes left. This I'm going to put some glue on the front just so I can tuck it back behind our little ladybug. I think that's cute. And you could pop up some of these elements in here too, but it starts to get pretty thick for mailing, so you might want to be careful of that. But there it is. There's our second one. Very different and fun from this one. Similar, but different. Okay, let's make an ATC really quick, because I just want to use those little ants because they're so cute. So I've got my ATC card already cut out and ready. I just have to do that little stamp thing on the back later. I can always add that later. Again, paper from my Colorful Collective. And this is like a wood grain, but it's yellow, so that's kind of fun and different. And I'll pop that right in the center. Thanks, Jackie. Thank you. I need those bugs in my scrapbooking supplies. I have 4 grandsons. Oh, Carol, that would be so much fun for them. And to let them color them in, even if you feel like you could let them do that. Valerie Armstrong, I think, is who I see often with her grandson crafting. And they were just, he was coloring in the bugs and putting together the hummingbird and just having a great time with Grandma. And he was, I don't know how old he is. He looks like he's about 6 or 7. He was having a good time. So here's that checkered paper I was talking about before. And I just kind of cut it on a little wavy angle because I got plans for my ants to climb up the side there. I have another leaf. I think we'll put right there. I've colored these with, or at least the leaf and the ladybug with the alcohol markers like before. And I think we'll just kind of put that right up there. I have some photo corners I want to add too. And because it's an ATC, I'm not going to pop anything up because I know that people, Nicole, you need to use the bugs too. Yeah. I know that people put their ATCs in little sleeves or books, and so I try not to pop up too much stuff. Makes them a little hard to put in the sleeves. So I'm just going to keep everything kind of flat here. And I want my ants to go here, so I think we'll have some ants kind of crossing in front of the ladybug a little bit, but that's good. Okay, there's that. And so I've got all my little ants here, and I've got little photo corners. And there's 2 different size photo corners in that one set, the picture frames and mats. And I cut both sizes here and layered them together. So the bigger ones are in red and the small ones are in black to kind of go with our ladybug. And I got my little ants here. So we're just gonna have them start climbing up along the picnic blanket here. So I'll have to make sure when I swap this one that they like bugs. They don't mind bugs, let's say. Okay. There's that one, a couple more. And what I'll do after this live is over is I'll take a picture of all three things and I will post it in the group so everybody can see it again. And for those people who missed the live, they can come back and watch. Hopefully it's saved. I did see y'all have a video tab, so hopefully Jackie will save it there. Okay, one more little ant I think can fit. I know that nowadays with the Facebook changes, I had one extra ant there, so we'll save him for something else. The Facebook changes, they take down live videos. So after, I think, 30 days now. So I think they have to be uploaded and saved differently instead of as a live. I'm not sure, so that they can be there forever, or maybe Jackie likes to take them down after the 30 days. Video will be saved. Okay, good. Yeah, new rules with Facebook. Elizabeth Crafts had to make adjustments for that and have us upload all the videos and save them again. So they weren't lives, they were different. I don't know how it worked. But here we are at the end. And I think this would be a pretty fun ATC to receive. I don't know. What do you guys think? It'd be fun to make a whole batch of these. It'd be easy to do. Just get out your supplies and die cut a big batch. All right. So let me gather them all up. Bring them back out here again. So we have our ATC, we've got this card, and we have our little wobbly frog card. So I hope you enjoyed that. I had a good time. Let me get my face back over here, sitting in my craft room. So yes, thank you for joining me very much. Had a great time today working with bugs. I'm just inclined to make more after I say goodbye, so I'm going to go have some fun coloring more. So thanks again, everybody, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.